Good morning. Here we go. First time ever.
Yeah.
Damn it. Good morning, everybody. Mike Wright, Edge Home Finance. I'm very stoked today because I've got a partner of mine who has been very instrumental in helping me do these videos, motivating me, and truly my inspiration in doing these things. Jake LaTourelle from Edge Home Finance. Thank you very much. Give me the props.
This is amazing.
No, it's great. I appreciate you. Normally you're behind the camera. What do you think of this, man?
I mean, I do a few other podcasts, but I've never actually sat in this seat, and I feel
so you're
feels
kind
a
of
little weird.
You're kind of like an offensive lineman. If you go from right to left, it gets awkward, and
way off.
And you're built like a lineman too.
Right.
So I mean, let's just get this straight now.
I'd flex, but I'd rip my shirt.
So, anyways, I appreciate you being on, my friend.
Yeah, of course.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, I know you're part of the podcast thing, which we'll dive in here a little bit.
Yeah.
Or Pod Gods. But we'll dive into that in a little bit. But tell us about your off life when you're not here.
Oh, man. Well, I guess when I'm not here, I try and spend as much time as I can with my family. Even when I'm home, though, I'm still working, still scheduling stuff, editing, photography, all that stuff. But luckily for me, I have an amazing fiance who's able to, take charge at home and watch our son. And
fiance's name?
Jean.
Jean is the
best,
bread
my better
and
half.
butter. Keeps this guy in line.
Really, though, she does. She's awesome.
And then your son.
Yeah, Felix, who just turned 2, best kid ever. I know everybody says their kid is the best, but literally couldn't have asked for a better kid.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky.
Well, and I know you and Brady in the Pod Gods podcast had talked about when to have a child. I mean, what do you think?
Ideally, I'm 34 now. I wish I would have had Felix when I was mid-20s. But I mean, he's kind of pushed me to do better with my life and to work harder and set an example, just to be a better person. So
it's if you guys have never had an opportunity to follow Jake on Facebook, do, because the compassion he has for his for Felix and his fiance becomes so obvious, and it's very, very cool to witness. I applaud you. I think there's a lot of maturity that develops from 25 to your age now, right?
Yeah, 25-year-old me was, I don't know. I was existing, but now I feel like I'm actually pushing myself and at least to my full potential.
Well, I love it. And so tell us a little bit about the Pod Gods. I mean, it's super cool because Jake, as I told you before when we started this, has been very motivating to me because he has made me do this every week and has offered ideas. But most importantly, what he does is critique me when I'm doing these things, which helps tremendously in asking questions. What have you learned from doing not only my show, but the Pod Gods with Brady?
Yeah. Well, I started doing YouTube probably a decade ago, just vlogging and stuff like that. And it started off, filming on my ex-girlfriend's crummy little MacBook. I didn't have a microphone. I used the camera on her laptop, and that's how I started. And so I hear people all the time say, oh, I don't have a nice camera. I don't have a microphone. I don't have this. I'm not ready. Next month when this comes in, then I'll start. But growing incrementally over the years to where I have it now, I have professional lights, a couple cameras, really good microphones, a mixer. It didn't happen overnight. And my first video, you're uncomfortable. You can't. It's impossible to be yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So. But yeah, to where we are now, the Pod Gods with Brady, who's awesome. We have guests on, and it's hard though. You're scheduling, you're editing, you're doing clips. People think like, oh, I want to start a podcast, but they don't see all the work that goes into it. They think, oh, cool, I can just talk for an hour with someone once a week, and it'll somehow upload itself, market itself, edit itself. It's a lot.
With Brady, what I have noticed with you too is you just don't, it's not real estate. You know what I mean? What you're part of these interviews are so cool because you get other professionals coming in.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, real estate's fun because everybody likes looking at houses and envisioning themselves in the house and, you know, the architecture and all that stuff. Mortgages, they're fucking boring. They just are. They're boring. And to hear a podcast every week about mortgage stuff, 99.9% of people don't want to hear it.
Correct.
Even mortgage brokers.
Correct.
Or lenders. It's not fun. So if you're looking to start a podcast or listen to a podcast, you can't pigeonhole yourself into just one topic. Like what makes this Realtor of the Week interesting is you get to hear all these successful realtors and their stories because they're all different.
Yes.
Everybody comes from different beginnings and has, you know, different journeys.
And how the companies themselves, right?
Right.
And I meant to start off this show by saying we, this week, don't have a Realtor of the Week. We have a Realtor of the Week, not so much a Realtor of the Week with Jake. So that has been the nice thing about that. But the cool thing about interviewing these people is they come from different companies.
Right.
And the trainings and the how they do their models. And, you know, just like yourself, I almost felt like I should throw my lid on here just to have a hat on, you know. But that's what I found is cool about this thing, too. So social media, what do you think? I mean, there's a lot of shiny objects in this business. How do agents or you or myself, for that matter, where do you determine how to use what?
It's a lot. So, I mean, if you're looking to use social media for business, people think they have to like reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is look at the top guys and just copy them. Obviously, make it your own, but if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for business, copy what the big people are doing, and that's it. If you're looking to like grow yourself, like your personality and your brand, I would mix in your personal life and business. I mean, it's not rocket science, but the thing is, be consistent. Look up the algorithms, you know, what time to post, what day of the week, how many times a week to post, and just make it so it's not boring. I don't want to see a closing flyer every time you, like 5 days out of the week. Like, show me your family.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something relatable.
But I think that's your importance, enormous importance to me, because when you talk about look up algorithms and determine when to post and not to post, I'm like going, yeah, let me just do this. I like this, right? I love talking to these agents, title companies. I love the fact that I can learn from you guys, right?
Yeah.
But that's where your skills are. And Jake, you do this, you know, on your own as well, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I'll just give you your props too, because when I interviewed Melissa Clausen, and I was like, oh, I got this. It's Realtor of the Week. I can do it, whatever. And it went fine. It wasn't like a terrible episode. But then the following week, watching you interview a realtor, I feel like you've got it down to a science. And I don't think you give yourself enough credit because you know exactly what to ask. You have experience in the business. You're a clip making machine.
Thank you.
You tee up the questions perfectly and you make my job easier. So props to you.
Thank you, my friend. But that's, again, this is why the combo, you need a partner, right?
Yeah.
And I think that your brilliance with the, you know, because I'm like, TikTok, X, you know, what all do we do, right? And you're like, just, and my patience for bringing on new realtors gets very, you know, I'm not very patient. I want 1,000, I want 2,000, I want all of you guys, right?
Yeah.
But you're one to say, relax, we're doing this thing and we're growing incrementally.
It's a slow grind. I think when people think like, oh, I'm going to start a podcast, I'm going to start making video content, it takes months, even years, to see an ROI on it.
Yeah.
Like, people think that, like, oh, you know, after 4 videos, I should have leads coming in, or I should have, like, it takes a long time, and I think that's why a lot of people quit. And if you're just persistent, what is it? Persistent, consistent, and patient.
And patient. There you go, brother. Way to go.
Learning from the best. But yeah, if you're just consistent with your uploads and make the content interesting, just keep going. That's literally all there is to it. And try and get better with each content or video you put out.
I find
It's really
Jake-
simple.
Well, and yeah, he makes it simple.
Well,
believe me.
yeah.
I mean, but I think that the coolest thing that I've found, yeah, would I love to get leads, of course, but the friendships that this has built, because you do, it's similar to social media. I'm blessed with the ability to dive in and figure out what makes you tick. And that is so cool, because it's I know what motivates you, right? It's Felix, it's your fiance. You work your tail off. Jake works hard because he does this for a lot of edge people, correct?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, you know, money's great. Obviously, everybody needs money, but the connections I've made through Edge and, you know, EXP and Keller Williams, just everybody that I've met is almost like priceless. Not to sound corny, but it really is.
So with your talents, photography, I mean, if you guys all saw this setup, and you're more than welcome to call me. I would love to have you in as agents. But if you saw this setup, it's amazing, right? How did you learn how to do all this?
Like I said, like, I've been doing YouTube for over a decade, and it's almost just like trial and error, which probably isn't the smartest move, but with all the resources these days with Google and, you know, tutorials, it's fairly easy if you just set aside time to learn.
So-
even just like a half hour a day.
To dive into it.
Yeah.
Is there a difference? I mean, we're sitting here professionally with a camera, lights, etc. What about, you see all the people, and I get bothered by the people driving and doing the videos, but
Like in their car?
yeah, in the car,
yeah.
driving and stuff. I get, you know, but again, that's me being me. But how is that compared to with a selfie stick? Impact?
I think it's good to mix it up. So, like, yeah, it's good to have this in like a professional setting and, you know, with great audio. But sometimes those personal selfie videos, they almost hit harder than, you know, professionally done videos. Because it's like, it's like you're talking to the person versus like a well edited video. So I think it's good to mix it up. And it takes, you know, 15 seconds to do those selfie videos.
Yeah.
A happy birthday. Hey, on my way to an open house. It's kind of like a
Market
vlog.
of the week, etc.
Yeah, it's easy.
Well, and it's funny because I'm chuckling to myself because I think of you know, TK or Tyler or, you know, Brady.
Brady's
And
crushing.
These cats, you know, and I'm going to have in next week, we got a gentleman on there, Max, who will, and these guys do these videos where they're doing like backflips and they're doing diving into the lake. And I'm just like, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to get back up, you know?
Well, and
but
they
that's
know,
creative.
Yeah, and they know that you can't skip a video where you're watching that much energy in the beginning. It catches them. It's like, if you do a backflip in the beginning of a video, it's like, okay, what's this guy about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, no.
But if you start out like, so mortgage rates this week, it's like, fuck, dude, like that's horrible.
No. And I love the creativity because, like you said, it's a hook.
Yeah.
And my eyes are like this, and I know a bunch of them were in Vegas last week, and that was comical because they're all having fun, and we all know what it's like to be in Vegas. All of a sudden, you know, it started that, and they did a market of the week. You know, and I thought that was creative as heck. So what's next for you? I mean, is it weddings? Is it personal photos? Where are you going with this, baby?
Oh, man. I just filmed a commercial for a roofing company. I did a commercial for a cleaning company. I'm going out tomorrow morning to film a commercial for this guy that's putting in a chimney. drone footage for an open house. I think, I mean, 5 years from now, I think it's like I'm going to have to learn to delegate and start a team because it's getting too much. And for me, I love doing this, and I hate overcharging. You know, I ask realtors, you know, how much, I'll ask them, like, how much did that person charge you to, you know, film that listing? And they say, you know, X amount. And I'm like, holy shit. I don't know.
So are you saying the $5,000 you charged me a month's a bit too high, or like what's shaking? You
Oh,
know?
man, I wish.
No.
No, I'm either gonna have to start a team or start charging more, or both.
Do you want to take this more into realtors? I mean, we got 900 plus agents in this thing.
I mean, yeah, I love working with realtors because they get the grind.
Yeah.
Their job is to sell houses, and you know that should be their sole focus. And then obviously networking and marketing. But to take one of those weights off of them, like marketing and having to worry about social media and stuff, I love doing that kind of stuff.
Recently, Jake was in Las Vegas because we had a national mortgage brokers event called Fuse. How was videoing that? I mean, you had golf, you had clubs, you had the seminars.
Yeah, being in Vegas is tough if you're working.
Right.
It's hard for me to have fun and then quickly turn that off and work. It's like, so if I'm in work mode, I need to just stay in work mode. It was fun though. It was fun to network with people, and I did a lot of photography. I'm gonna throw up a little montage video here in the next week. It was good though.
Yeah.
I mean, I was ready to come home.
Vegas is Vegas, right? I mean, if you're, and mind you, he is not into every vice that's in Vegas, right?
Not at all. I'm so boring. I'm not even joking. My ideal day is, I love routine. I wake up, you know, eat, go to work, come home, eat, edit, try and work out, hang out with the family, go to bed and repeat.
Yep.
I'm comfortable like that. I feel like I'm just better.
So tell us everybody that you recently did an event at a Saints game, or was it a Twins game? Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, it was so cool to watch that.
A realtor. Shout out Lucas Hansen from. Where was he from? Is he EXP? Anyways, Lucas Hansen, Team Steady hired me on to do photography and a video that. He was at the Saints game. I'm trying to remember. Saints game.
He just got back from Vegas, mind you. So, I mean, the brain cells are...
Yeah. So, but yeah, I did that. It was awesome. He had like over 100 people there at this event, rented out like 3 stories. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Saints game, but he rented out that big ship in the corner. They had a bar, catering. It was just good energy.
But it's cool to see Team Steady reach out to Jake and use his talents, because I'm telling you what, you guys, one of the biggest hurdles that I started this off doing Zoom, right? I was doing Zoom interviews, and even though the people I had on were amazing, it wasn't the same as sitting down and having somebody professionally video it, edit it, and then post it to the social media outlets you need. That's where your talents come into play, my friend.
It's fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I truly appreciate you coming on. I know there's, Ryan O'Neill and, Tyler and Nick and all these guys are giving you props because this man's humble, right? When you see his picture on that deal and he's saying, this is kind of awkward for him, even though he does a lot of podcasts. Whew, that's a mouthful.
Twister.
And this with me, it's easier. He doesn't want to have it be about him. But you're talented, my friend. I think that's a skill not many people have.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's just doing it over and over.
But it's good, though, because I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for you. So we appreciate you guys coming on this on the Realtor Connect group in Facebook. It means so much to us because without you guys, me and Jake are not doing this. And so we appreciate that. We also have a Instagram group, which is Realtor of the Week, all one word. And then a YouTube channel, which is Realtor of the Week, all separate words. And as I said, we appreciate you tremendously. We've got a couple way cool guests coming up, which I'm excited about.
Hold on.
Yes,
I just
sir.
want to say, too, Mike never plugs himself. Mike is an amazing loan officer. He's going to hate me for doing this, but if you guys ever need a loan close or you're unsure or something's not happening, reach out to Mike. This dude's a killer. He's been in the industry for 80 years? 80 plus years?
A lot of years. I put 25 plus in there, you know?
So, just that's all I'll say. If I ever have any like loan questions, this is the guy. He's the brains behind, everybody goes to him for questions. So I'll leave that there.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it tremendously. I appreciate all you. Have an amazing week and enjoy your Wednesday.